Okie dokie, so we're back for another HenzRantz, and again, it is going to be on the apparent golden poster boy for every single game in franchise, Call of Duty, because if you don't play it, it's a skill issue. Um, Treyarch have just uploaded a new COD podcasting. I don't know what they're calling it. It's a dumb name, and they'll drop it as soon as the game launches. They do stuff like this every single year, and then they forget about everybody who exists and just carry on doing their mediocre crap as always. So they've just released a third episode going into Liberty Balls, and the whole situation regarding the gameplay they showed of that zombies map at COD Next, where the community were then saying the map is awful, which is why it claimed the name Liberty Balls. They said it had no soul and it looked like a cash grab with Warzone assets, which it still is. It really, really is. I have played zombies since World at War, and the maps are not supposed to be wide open. They're supposed to be confined spaces with intense atmosphere and incredible gameplay. But Liberty Falls did not have that. It was a wide open mess, which is literally catered to the Warzone crowd. So everybody who plays Warzone comes and spends £70 on the same regurgitated crap every single year just to play this zombies map because, you know, Activision, we love money. We know how to get people to spend stupid amounts of it. Um, and in this podcast, they have basically admitted that they had screwed up. And this is where they're now playing the card that Liberty Balls was never intended to look how it does at COD Next. Like, yeah, I get it. Possibly the map isn't finished, but again, they've had 4 years and 4,000 developers working on the game. How could the map not be how you envisioned it to be? Like, you've shown like previous zombies maps before they've released that have exactly looked how they do when they launch, and as soon as this year comes on, you're like, oops, sorry, it's still not finished yet. But I digress. um but in this podcast they have said they're adding more spooky atmospheres to the map, and they're changing the HUD to make it more zombies appropriate. And now, all of a sudden, the whole tide has changed because you've got people like Mr. Raffle Waffles, who everybody knows who he is, and Mr. Like, basically the entire zombies community, basically outright coming out and saying, Liberty Falls is saved. We were wrong about Black Ops 6 zombies. And it's like, do you forget what you were complaining about when you saw the gameplay of Liberty Falls at COD Next? The main thing that everybody was complaining and whinging about was the fact that the game looked awful and the map did not look like zombies because it was wide open and it just looked like it was ripped exactly from Warzone. But as soon as they say, oh, we're just changing the HUD to make it more zombies appropriate and adding more atmosphere, which also comes from the Easter egg as well, trust us, guys, everybody's saying it's now the third coming of Jesus, and it's like, are you that brain rotted and dead from everything that goes on with Call of Duty these days that you will believe what these stupid law like people in suits like just what are they? I can't even like get my words out. I'm just so infuriated that we're at a point where they can do a full 180 and then come back and everybody treats it as it's the third coming of Jesus when this is how it should have been when it was first revealed. Like, I'm still not buying Black Ops 6. Um and even then I'm not getting on Game Pass either because I'm getting rid of my Xbox because there's no games on there. Starfield sucked. That was the only reason I got it. Um but you cannot ignore all of the previous criticisms that were given to Liberty Falls about the actual map layout itself. And as soon as they say that adding more atmosphere and changing the HUD, you're thinking it's the best thing ever. It doesn't change the fact that the gameplay is still going to be the same. It still doesn't change the fact that it's still going to be a bad map. It doesn't matter if there's atmosphere. It doesn't matter if the HUD around your screen looks more like zombies. It's still going to be the same game that they've shown off. And it makes no sense to me how these kids who have probably never played zombies in the past, they started with Cold War, are now treating this like it's just the best thing ever, and, you know, that we're so back, you know? And I think we've gone too far. Like, we've gotten to the point where publishers can make these mistakes and then do an instant 180 and then everybody's like,